Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear happy investing females. In today's video, we want to talk about all the accounts that you need for your Smart Autopilot Budget System. This is the first step that you will set in place to let your money work for you instead of you working for your money. I'm Selvi, I'm the founder of Her Islamic Finance, and I empower muslimahs to their financial security and freedom. So typically, sisters have one or maximum two accounts when they start coming to my trainings and coachings. Now, I want to talk about why this is a bad idea and teach you a more smart way and how you can set up a system that automatically works for you without you having to put in the effort time and time again once you have set it up in a smart way, inshallah. So in my free workshop, Unlock Your Investment Potential, and also in my Halal investing program, the first step that you want to do is set up a smart autopilot budgeting system before you unlock your investment potential and start investing. Because once we have the system set up, not just will it work for us on autopilot, meaning automatically, it will also give us the understanding and the exact number of our investment potential that we now can invest on a regular basis, inshallah. Today, we're just going to talk about the first step that you want to look at, which is your account situation, right? So typically, you will have one account where your bills are paid from. This is typically also the account when your income comes in case you have any income. If you don't have a regular income coming in, what you will do is you will put your monthly budget on this account that you need. Be it from a student grant that you have, you will put your monthly budget on this account, or money that you get from your supporters, from your husband, from your parents, whatever, you will put this amount on this account that is for your spending. This is your base account that every payments will go out from. And from this account, you will pay your bills as soon as possible. You will also then pay your monthly random expense, which is the conscious spending that you will do. And in the meantime, you will also pay into your other accounts, which are dedicated for either your goals that you have to be very clear on, inshallah. So goal setting is another thing that we might talk in another video in the future. Let me know in the comments if you are interested in that as well, inshallah. So you will pay into your goals, into your emergency fund, and into your investment portfolio. These are the three categories that you will preferably have separate accounts to your expats accounts on. So meaning, we will have the emergency fund, which is the fund that will cover you in case of emergency. I've done a separate video on that, inshallah. Also check it out, inshallah. And you will pay into your financial goals. Preferably, you will have one account for each financial goal that you have. Now, these goals are very specific to you. It can be, for example, you want to save up to buy your own car. Now, why you don't want to leave this money on your expense account is because if you leave it on your expense accounts, you're putting yourself at risk to spend that money that you wanted to save for your goals. So there is something called pay yourself first, meaning honor your goals, honor yourself before you spend it unconsciously on things that don't even matter to you. That's why we want to have separate accounts for our goals. So as soon as we have this income, as soon as our monthly bills are paid, we want to transfer our money to our goals. Now, here, it depends a little bit on how many goals you have, right? Because if you have, for example, 2 goals, you can have 2 separate accounts for each goal. But if you start to have 10 goals, then you also have to look at the fees of the accounts, right? And then I will give you a bonus tip at the end, inshallah, on how you can also deal with having a lot of goals, which I completely empower and support as well, inshallah. And the last category is your investment portfolio, where you put your money that you have additionally after you've paid your bills, you honored your goals, you put aside some money for conscious spending over the month. What you will have left, preferably, inshallah, will go to your investment portfolio account where you will invest as well. Now, when setting up this account structure, there is something you have to keep in mind, because you can choose accounts in various forms and with various providers. You can have one house bank, for example, that you have all your accounts with them, or you can check and compare different options and very easily also have different accounts with different service providers or banks or financial institutions where it makes sense, inshallah. One thing I want to highlight is that depending on the account type, you might face a riba, which we want, of course, to avoid. I have a separate video on that as well, inshallah. So, oftentimes, there is something so-called savings account, which is dedicated for saving, and banks offer this for very good conditions to their customers, because they want to motivate their customers to put their money with them so that they can use your money to make more money, right? So oftentimes savings accounts come with riba attached, because banks want to motivate customers to save with them and get interest on that, which we as Muslims, of course, don't want. So consider opening other types of accounts instead of saving account, maybe an expense account, but put your savings on it. I mean, you can use an expense account for your savings. It's not, it's freely to do so. What you have to consider then is that oftentimes also these savings accounts have very low fees, because the banks want to motivate their customers to save with them compared to expense accounts. So what you really want to do is compare the fees, be clear on your intention to stay away from riba as much as possible, inshallah. However, if you face a riba, please at least make sure that you purify your account by giving this interest that you accumulated away in sadaqah, in charity, inshallah. I leave it up to you. Make sure your intentions are clear and fine. However, you set up your account system in a smart way in terms of account types and where you put your money on, inshallah. Now, the bonus tip, in case you have a lot of goals, we are talking maybe about 10 goals, you want to also consider putting several goals on one account. What you can do is you can just have for each goal one specific payment out of your expense account. And by a monthly basis, you will be able to see in your bank history how much you accumulated per each goal, even though you collect them in one account. What you don't want to do is transfer one payment for all your goals, because then it's mixed up. Then you can not have this overview that you crucially want to have, inshallah. So I hope you find that interesting. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And I love to see you next time again, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan, and salamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.